Microphone check.
Microphone check.
Welcome to day 5 of the KSP One Eye Pro here in beautiful Mauritius. We're coming live outside today for you. You can see behind us the conditions have glassed off a little bit. The wind is a bit light sky, and though we've had a fantastic couple days of competition, it looks like today it's probably going to be a lay day. And again, we're waiting for official word, but all signs point to it being a lay day today.
Yeah, it's pretty much a lazy morning here in Mauritius. We showed up to the beach this morning. Not much surf on offer out there on the reef, as you can see behind us. So everyone just probably going to enjoy a nice lay day here. And I'm sure, some of us could definitely use a lay day. All of us commentators and, of course, the competitors. I think their legs are pretty sore from riding all those waves.
Hello everybody, welcome to day 5 of the KSP One Eye Pro here in beautiful Mauritius. We are sitting on the beach right in front of the break of One Eye, and as you can see behind us, the conditions seem like they've glassed off a little bit. The wind is a little bit lighter today, so it's looking like it's going to be a lay day called for today. Again, Sky waiting for official word, but all signs point to it being a lay day today.
Yeah, absolutely. We showed up to the beach this morning and just kind of a lazy morning here in Lemoorn. Not too much action out on the reef, as you can see behind us. Waves about in the 1 foot range, just sort of lapping up against the reef out there. So not much action in the ocean to be seen today. So there is a little slowly building breeze, but since we have no surf, it looks like all signs pointing towards a lay day, as you're saying, Ben.
Yeah, and at the 10 a.m. we have the riders meeting going on right now, but again, as we said, I'm pretty sure they're not even going to put this on a hold. My guess is that it'll just be a release the riders for the day. Really, the forecast is calling for about these similar conditions for the rest of the day. It'll probably get windy enough to get a couple of guys out on the water, but the swell's just not going to be big enough to be contestable today.
Yeah, so it's looking like it's probably not going to happen. But a beautiful day here nonetheless, and I'm sure we can all use a little break today. The riders especially have been out there charging for the last 4 days straight. Yeah. And I know there's a lot of sore legs and sunburnt faces. So just going to enjoy a nice little lay day here, it looks like. But again, we will wait for official word from our riders meeting.
Yeah, and if you guys, I hope you guys have had a chance to tune in for the last 3 or 4 days, because it's just been charging conditions. It was go from the very first day of the waiting period. There was no time to sort of relax or get into the groove of the contest mode. It was bang right away, and we've been going nonstop pretty much until yesterday, where even we thought that in the morning that we were going to get the conditions to allow us to wrap this thing up in the finals. But as it were, if you joined us yesterday, we were on hold until just after noon, until the conditions just sort of deteriorated enough to call it off for the day. And again, continuing into today. And as you said, Sky, all of our riders are probably happy for a day off to recover a little bit. It's been overhead and super strong winds, and we couldn't have asked for better conditions for this event so far.
Yeah, it's been great so far, and we've seen some incredible action. And we do only have 3 heats remaining in this contest, so there's going to only be a third place final, and then of course the men's and women's finals, which we will get into a little bit later on in the show this morning.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited about seeing some of those matchups, Sky. The heats, you know, all the way through the first round, all the way into the quarterfinals, semifinals, and then we've gotten as far as you said as that women's third place final with Kirsty Jones securing her space on the podium with that third place. Only the women's final left, and then on the men's side we do have that third place final as well as the overall winners final to determine who's going to be first, second, third, and fourth here at the One Eye Pro.
Yeah, so those 3 heats will be coming up as soon as we have contestable conditions. It's looking like we do have a swell on the horizon. Organizers here very optimistic to get this thing wrapped up within the next few days. But again, we are a weather-dependent sport, and we will have to wait for those conditions to show up here in Lemoorn.
Well, and let's talk about a little bit about day one. As we said before, everyone last week, and you know, I was following, and I'm sure a lot of people were following some of the photos that were being posted of just the forecast that was coming for last weekend, and all of the riders were just amped to get out there and kind of couldn't wait for this holding period to start, which is sometimes a rarity, and that you're actually waiting for the waiting period to start because the forecast was so phenomenal for that weekend. And for day one, like I said, it came out firing. Probably a lot of nerves, some butterflies in the stomach of a lot of our riders getting out there because it was so large. And the cool thing about everyone being amped up for that whole week leading up to that first day of competition, it really kind of set the tone for how the rest of the weekend went, and then into this week, spirits couldn't be higher, and everyone is just so excited to be here and excited to be a part of this event, Sky, and we've such a fantastic location to be able to host an event like this. But going back to that day one, we got through tons of heats. I don't even remember how many heats we ran. I know the next day we ran 20 heats in one day, and the day before was not far behind.
Yeah, I mean, we showed up early on that first morning, Friday morning, which was the day that everyone was kind of waiting for. Everyone was, watching that forecast, as you said, and we showed up that morning, and it was just bombing out here. But it was very windy. It was real stormy conditions. Mm-hmm. We had a bunch of rain squalls moving through that day, and it was just, I don't know, blowing 30, 35 knots, raining, huge seas, and we saw some incredible action, some great heats, and we have a little clip queued up here, I believe, and we're going to go check out some of the action from that first day of competition here at the 2012 KSP One Eye Pro. So sit back and enjoy the clip, wrap-up clip from day one.
Pretty solid, it's pretty windy, it's going to be interesting, but it should be fun.
pretty huge. I think everyone's pretty scared to go out there, but it'll be fun.
Man, the wave is so nice, huh? Wow, it's more big than last year, huh? The wind is more strong. Oh, sick, huh? Big barrels. I love it, man.
To land another girl with my affection. Do you think it could go further? Or is this your plan to pretend not to understand? I say you'll storm and match. You get the wrong impression. Is it ridiculous to be ambiguous and oh so subtle? I say they'll cross swords for you. This vain attempt's lost on you. It's not indigenous to be ambiguous and oh so subtle. You don't understand what I'm saying. You don't understand what I'm meaning. You take it all wrong.
It was nice actually. I thought it would have been way worse, but it was actually alright. Like sometimes on the wave it's really bumpy, but I managed to get some really nice waves and it's just amazing out there. Like super powered on my 5 meter and great heat.
This was the first day of the holding period of the Eye Kite Surf Pro 2012 here on Mauritius, and it couldn't really have been any better. We had huge swell and we had strong winds, a lot of excitement. The riders were all really stoked, having a lot of fun out there, and we did see a lot of great action.
Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoy that day one clip. As you can see, kind of victory at sea conditions out there. Absolutely enormous surf rolling in. A little bit stormy, super windy. Just to be able to drop into some of those waves and not have it pull you out the back was definitely a challenge. But as you can see right off the bat, the guys just charging, the girls just charging, everyone amped to get out there. And again, we couldn't have asked for a better first kickoff day for this event, Sky. And I know that out there on the water, the nerves were running high, and again, it's always helps to get out there and kind of get those first few couple of waves, you know, under your belt, out of the system, kind of work out the nerves. But man, in conditions like that, I'm not sure just 1 or 2 minutes is enough time to really you know, get comfortable out there.
Yeah, and I know a lot of the riders, you know, some of them, well, quite a few of them were here a couple of weeks leading up to the event and got some other swells and kind of got used to the conditions out here. But some riders showing up just the day before the event and going straight out into that, not even getting a warm-up, just going straight out into their heat in those kind of conditions. So I think Patri actually was one of those riders who showed up the day before. Of course, he did get used to the conditions out here last year, but he was straight up into his first heat without even a warm-up. So quite a few riders in that sort of situation, yeah. And just incredible to see those guys and girls out there charging. So if you're just joining us, this is the morning show, day 5 of the 2012 KSP 1i Pro. Looks like an official lay day today. The wind is coming up, Ben, but
as you can probably hear on our microphones a little bit.
not much surf to speak of at the moment, but we would like to go ahead and take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors making this event possible. We'd like to thank the MTPA, which is the Mauritius Tourism Board, for for partnering with the KSP for this event. We'd also like to thank our industry sponsors for this incredible event, North Kiteboarding and Ion Essentials, and of course the St. Regis Hotel, a new hotel opening here on the beach in Lemoorn. If you come to Mauritius, stay at the St. Regis. Also MTEL for providing all of our internet needs down here on the beach, Ben. Without their support, we would not be able to bring you these images live here from Lemoorn. And of course Monster Energy for handing out those drinks on the beach and keeping us awake and alert.
Awake and alert.
Thank you to Monster.
Yeah, again, these guys, please go to their Facebook pages. You can find all of that stuff on that live webcast homepage on the just below the browser that you're, or I'm sorry, just below the viewer, the player. Please go support these guys. Again, that's the reason why we're all here. That's the reason why you're able to watch live the most incredible wave riding that we've seen all year, Sky. And without those guys, we wouldn't be sitting here right now bringing this live to you. So please go support them. We give them all our thanks. Again, on that same page, you can follow us also on Facebook, also on Twitter, and find out pretty much all the information that you need to know. If you want to go see the replays of the heats from days in the past, wrap-up videos, learn a bit about all of our riders, their stats, and follow the heats, see what the heat scores were. We had some incredibly close heats. I think 2 or 3 heats that were won by 0.01 point, which is just incredible. And some of them not really even decided until well after the closing horn of the heat, just because it was so close, and we really wanted to take the time to verify all of the scores. As we know, all these guys are giving it their all, and all these girls are giving it their all, so we wanted to make sure that all that was as technically correct as possible. But it's always kind of cool to go through that heat draw and look and see which heats really were the closest ones. And you know, it's when you're going back through those daily recaps and you go back and watch some of the fantastic footage, going and seeing the heat scores and how high the waves were being scored kind of helps you if you want to go back through the entire day's broadcast and actually see the whole heat as a heat on demand situation. It kind of helps you go through and see which heats were the hottest contested, had the highest scoring waves, and you know, staying with that. As we showed up, we just saw the day 1 clip. As we showed up for day 2 in the morning, everybody was you know, definitely buzzing from the day before. The conditions, the weather actually cleared up a little bit that next day. The sunshine
a little bit
was
cleaner on day 2.
Yeah, and it wasn't quite as crazy. It was a little bit smaller swell, but I think probably better conditions for really getting out there and contesting the event there on day 2.
Yeah, that first day 1 was just a really sort of big raw swell with all that wind and rain associated with it, and then day 2 things started to sort of clear up more. The skies were clearing, it was a bit sunnier and less chop on the face of the waves, and just sort of cleaner conditions overall, and just sort of allowing for more sort of linking top to bottom maneuvers, and the waves weren't closing out as much. So had some great action on day 2.
Yeah, and for every bit as much as the crazy conditions were on day 1, as you said, cleaning up a little bit, allowing us to advance. As I said earlier in the show, I think we went through 20 heats that day. It was a solid, I think, 10:30 a.m. start to, I think we called it at 5 or a little after 5, something like that. So it was a solid non-stop day of action. Everyone was totally burnt after that day and ready for some rest, but we advanced so far that day because we couldn't stop. You know, the conditions were so good that you wanted to go almost until dark. And one heat for me that stood out, that sort of set the standard, I think was on day 2, and I don't remember which round it is, but it was a round 2 heat, I believe, or a round 3 heat, between Patri McLaughlin, the young Hawaiian rider from the island of Maui, going up against one of the event favorites in Mitu Montero, the Cape Verdean rider, who's a seasoned wave rider, rides this location fantastic. And those two guys, as soon as that heat bell sounded, it was just like shotgun fire after shotgun fire.
Yeah,
Those guys
it was just game on. They were just it was nonstop action. There was it seemed like nonstop sets in that heat, and those guys were just going for barrels and just sort of laying it all on the line. And
yeah, for me, it was the heat that kind of set the tone for the rest of the event. I mean, up to that point, everybody was charging, but everyone on the beach who saw those two going for it, it was nonstop. Everybody was out their chairs, up on the couches, jumping around. It was insane. And you know, for both the guys and the girls after that heat, it's one of those things where it sort of set the tone for how much these guys were really going to be charging for the rest of the event, because that heat just blew everybody's minds.
Absolutely. So we do have a little wrap-up clip from day 2, so sit back and enjoy the action. We are going to cut to a short clip of day 2, and we will be back to you here shortly with the morning show on day 5 of the 2012 KSP 1 Eye Pro. Welcome to day 2 of the 2012 KSP 1 Eye Pro. Beautiful day here in Mauritius, getting underway shortly.
I could go out in the darkness, see you calling my name. I hear you shouting, hear you calling, but it's not the same. Every word that you are throwing right into my back doesn't matter to me, cause I'm keeping my track. Let me go, let me go. Let me go. Stop talking, let me go. Our time together always ended up in war. Every whisper made you jealous.
Felipe Ferreira, big backside hack.
See you shouting out for throwing me out. No excuses, but this time it's gonna be the last. Let me go. Let me go.
Oh my word, me too, Monteiro, Mach 10 through that barrel.
Today is a little bit more easy because the wind is more side off, so it's a little bit more better, and the wave as well open a little bit more, so it's a little bit more easy to do the barrels and to surf as well on the wave. So today we have nice conditions.
Now I go out in the dark, smiling back at your face with a nice and cozy feeling after leaving your place. This road will lead me somewhere I don't really know, but it's someone always makes my day somehow. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Stop shouting, let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Oh baby, let me go. Let me go. Oh baby, let me go.
ATN lot from France here on a nice looking wave bend.
Giving a clinic on backside riding today, Sky.
Young South African Luke McGilloway, he's really been on fire out here.
In the doctor smiling back at your face with a nice and cozy feeling after leaving your place. This road will lead me somewhere I don't really know, but it's someone always makes my day somehow. Let me go.
Last year's world champ Ayrton Cotsolino on one of the last waves of the day. Looks like he's into a good one.
Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Oh baby, let me go. Let me go. Oh baby, let me go. Let me go. Oh baby, let me go.
Welcome back, guys. You just saw day 2's highlights, and as we said, unbelievable. You might notice a location change for us. The wind was starting to pick up, and a little bit of wind coming through on the microphone. So we changed location underneath to where the riders' meeting was just happening, and we now have the view looking out in front of us that you guys had going the other way. And again, Sky, what a beautiful place to host an event. Seeing the swell rolling in, and it's definitely not contestable today, but what a beautiful day. Gorgeous bluebird, not too many clouds out there.
Yep.
And all the guys who are just here, again, kind of stoked that it's a day off, that they can go and relax a little bit. But you can tell that the energy in the air is that these guys want to, kind of can't wait for that next swell to arrive, as the wind is definitely here, and get this contest wrapped up and do some more free riding out there, Sky.
Exactly, yeah. So we do have official word now from the riders meeting. It is an official lay day called here for day 5 of the One Eye Pro. So riders just sort of heading off, gonna go play, maybe a round of golf, maybe enjoy a day on the beach, or just sort of relax at home and catch up with some emails or something like that, and update their Facebook statuses, and
right.
call their folks at home. But yeah, just a beautiful day here in Mauritius. It is a lay day, so we are here with the morning show, and we just saw that wrap up of day 2. Some incredible action there, cleaner surf than what we saw on the first day of the contest, and some crazy performances, some guys and girls getting barreled, and just some incredible ways they're rolling across the reef at One Eye.
Absolutely, and as we said, we rolled through 20 heats that day, and I don't know if we could have even pulled off anymore, based even if the conditions were holding. It was almost sunset when we called it for the day, and I don't know if we could have jammed any more heats in that day, but as we said, at the end of the day, it was just such a fantastic day of action, and action-packed, and it was sort of set us up for that next day, day 3, as we had the kind of day 1 of really not really stormy conditions, but close. It was a little bit sort of hold on for a wild ride kind of thing. The next day cleaned up a bit, allowed the competitors to really get out there and have that 15-minute heat and set themselves up, instead of just trying to hold on like the day before. Yeah,
and the early rounds, you're just kind of trying to survive. Everyone's trying to just sort of get their bearings out there and just sort of make it through their heats. It is a second chance round, so you can actually lose the first heat, and you go into the losers consolidation. If you win that first heat, you go straight on to round 4. But as we got into the later rounds, the pressure was on. And on day 3, we then went straight into round 5, I believe, of the men's and women's winners consolidation. So pretty much from then on, it was a do or die situation for most riders. And when we showed up that third day, the forecast was for potentially declining swell. And when we showed up in the morning, it looked decent. The judges got out on the judges' tower, as you've seen a few times, and on our overview cams, but we were kind of not really certain that it was going to be contestable that day. However, once the judges got out there, the sets seemed really consistent, more consistent than we thought that we were going to have, and the wind started to fill in, and the decision was made to, as you said, Sky, begin that round 5, those round 5 heats for the men and the women, and thankfully it was called on, because the conditions as the day went on just kept getting better and better and better. And yeah, and into the evening the sets just kept pumping through, and it was just non-stop sets rolling across the reef, and the forecast was not quite right on that one, but luckily we got through a bunch of heats that day and set ourselves up for just the 3 heats that we have remaining now in the event. Only the men's third place final, and of course the women's and men's final remaining in this competition. So we are on an official lay day here, and we will see the continuation of those heats as soon as conditions permit. Yeah, exactly. And going back to that day 3, that day was kind of marked by a few upsets, and a couple of guys who were taking down some pretty big names here at the event, and sort of getting on a roll and just going with it, and being almost impossible to stop the longer the day went on. Those guys were really, like taking advantage of the conditions, the situation, their style of riding. And I'd love to go to that day 3 wrap-up clip, and then we can kind of talk about how that sets us up for where we're at, because day 3 is what we got up to at the end, as Sky was saying, for the third place final being completed for the women, but not for the men, and having both winner finals, overall finals, still remaining. This day 3 wrap-up is what got us to the point we are right now. So let's take a look at that clip, and we'll be back with you afterwards. Day 3 of competition here at One Eye. It's going to be an incredible day out here. Conditions rapidly improving out on the reef. can't wait to get this thing going.
I think being the second time here just gives everyone a little bit more confidence on going out and having fun on the conditions, not just struggling to survive out there. So, and also the new riders on the tour, some new guys coming with a lot of skills and adding up a lot to the whole contest scene.
Luke McGilloway, the young South African, continuing to dominate these late round heats.
Inês Correa here from Portugal on the women's side. She's going to be making a charge to the final.
Ayrton Cozzolino, our defending champion, charging late into the rounds, holding nothing back.
Our judges are going to have their work cut out for them out there on the scaffolding. Yalu Langere from the Netherlands. A lot of Dutch fans tuning in to cheer her on. Backhand attack there from the young Australian Keahi de Aboides.
Little trickery on the inside from Ayrton Cozzolino.
Patria McLaughlin, the young Maui Ripper.
Solid, fluid style from Sebastian Ribeiro. And
Patria McLaughlin
deep inside the barrel, coming out standing up. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that day 3 clip. As we said, man, the action was just unbelievable. And Sky, I want to ask you a question because last year's conditions were also pretty phenomenal, and I hope you guys were able to at least go and view that clip in the lead up to this one. But I'd be curious to know what you thought about the conditions this year so far compared to what you saw here last year. I didn't get a chance to be here last year, so I'd be interested to see from the beach, from the video footage, from being out on the water, the comparisons between last year and this year so far.
Yeah, well, last year we had phenomenal conditions here for this event. We actually had 3 back-to-back swells in the 10-day holding period, so it was pretty much non-stop action from day 1 last year, and we saw incredible surf also this year. Of course, today we do have a lay day. Yesterday we didn't have much surf either, so not quite as much swell every day as we had last year, but also great conditions this year so far. Day 3 was absolutely phenomenal. We just saw that wrap-up clip. But we do want to show a clip of Day 5, and just to give you guys at home a feeling of the conditions we saw out here last year. This Day 5 clip from last year, I believe, was I think the quarterfinals, maybe the round 5 and the quarters and into the semis. So that was an absolutely huge day last year with some crazy performances. It's actually been our most viewed video on our YouTube channel. So if you guys want to watch these videos after the broadcast, you can tune on to YouTube and go to the KSP World Tour YouTube channel and check out some of these videos. We have them all up there for you. So we're going to cut to this day 5 from last year's contest, 2011, and just sort of get a feeling for how the conditions were last year versus this year. So we will cut to day 5 from 2011, the KSP 1i Pro.
It is already pumping and the swell is just rising. It's definitely gonna be a bit of a scary day. Got some solid set thrown in, so hopefully we come in the same way we came out. Yeah, this is sick to have an event where it's just focused on wave riding. So we go here where there's awesome waves and it's going to be awesome. I mean, this is definitely the way to do it. I'm stoked to be a part of this and I'm really happy to support and see where this tour will go.
I think that's the best thing that could have happened to the sport in the past couple of years. Me personally, I've been hoping and waiting for something like this to happen for a long time. There's been a vacuum for it, and finally some riders took it in their own hands and set it all up. And I think it's going to be a great future for a wave riding tour.
We had the more amazing conditions for kiting. We had like around 7 meters front. The wave was perfect, open to do really nice turns. We had a really huge pocket in the middle. We showed the best show that the charge that we can show in a contest in these kind of conditions, windy, with wave, with the best kiters in the world. So for us, these guys, they are changing the sport completely strapless, you know. This is something new for the sport. This day is going to pass to the history for sure, because, you know, we started kiting years ago and now we are in the other side of kiting, and today I tell you, this is a big change for kiting, strapless, big conditions, and you know how we can feel. We feel exciting, really happy, and really nervous to see tomorrow the next hits.
Well, we just saw a clip from 2011 from day 5 of last year's 1i Pro Sky, and as you guys all were able to see, this is 2 years in a row of just fantastic conditions. We've been lucky enough to just score it 2 years in a row, and we were talking before we went to that clip, Sky, about the comparisons between last year and this year. And I'd be interested to see your thoughts on that. If you guys are just joining us, this is day 5 of 2012 KSP 1i Pro. It is an official lay day, and we're here. Sky Solbach sitting next to me. I'm Ben Meyer, running you through some of the recaps that we've had so far at this contest. Again, you just saw last year's day 5, I believe, as well, and how that was. And Sky, back to the comparison of conditions. What do you think after seeing that clip again, you know, and being able to really see the differences between what was last year and this year? What do you think about the overall conditions?
Well, the overall conditions, I mean, pretty comparable. Actually, I think this year probably not quite as clean. I think that obviously the first day of competition this year, day one, was the biggest surf. That's the biggest surf of the entire event so far. So that was very comparable to wave height to last year, but perhaps not as clean as last year. So I think last year we had a little bit cleaner conditions and big. But then day three, the clip that we just saw a few moments ago, obviously very clean conditions, not as big and barreling as last year, but great in their own right as well. So, I mean, I don't think we can complain. We were blessed with conditions here once again, 2 years in a row. Mauritius has not disappointed, and the wave gods were smiling on us once again this year, Ben.
Yeah, and it's been fantastic. We can't wait to get this thing rolling, finish this up. We are almost at the end. We have 3 more heats to go, but conditions aren't contestable at the moment, so we are in our waiting period. We do have quite a bit of time left, so no need to really rush into anything.
Yeah, everyone's pretty relaxed. I mean, we still have quite a few days in the waiting period, 5 more days in the waiting period, in fact, and there is another swell on the horizon. We will do daily calls here, as we do every morning, 10 a.m., so join us for the morning show. The forecast is looking good towards the end of the week, but you never know. We could show up here tomorrow and have great surf, as we did on day 3. Didn't think it was going to be a contestable day. Turned out to be the best day of the entire event so far. So we'd like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors once again for allowing us to be here in beautiful Mauritius. So the MTPA, the Mauritius Tourism Board, as well as North Kiteboarding, Ion Essentials, MTEL, St. Regis, and Monster.
Yeah, again, they're the reason why we're here. And to kind of continue on our show today, I'd love to bring some interviews to you guys, highlighting some of the amazing athletes that we have here out in the surf. And the first one we want to cut to is a young South African kid, Luke McGilloway, who really at this event is, I don't want to say come out of nowhere, but definitely been surprising some people with his riding and his advancement through the heats. He was taking down some big names, and he deserved it. He was just ripping from the first heat, and continued it through all the way into day 3 of competition, and is just killing it. So we were able to catch up with Luke for a little interview earlier today, and let's go see what Luke has to say.
I'm having now Luke with me on the sofa, and Luke, you're waiting for some better conditions to go in the battle for the 3rd place against Sebastian. You're one of the youngest, you're the new generation coming up. What do you think about this?
Oh, it's good. I mean, there's a lot of young freestylers that's pushing the freestyle, so the young guys are going into the freestyle kind of section of kiteboarding. But there's a lot more younger guys as well going into the wave and taking it seriously. And I mean, if you look at us, it's me, there's Machu, there's Ayrton, there's a few young guys that are doing really well. So it's not just for the older generation anymore.
So would you say that it's a lot about experience, or what do you think? What is the key thing about it?
It's the key thing about it is time on the water. I mean, you can get good at anything as long as you put the effort in.
Okay. All right. And we have now a few days of the KSP here in Mauritius. How do you like the event so far here, One Eye Mauritius?
Oh, the event's been so good, well organized. I mean, they've got a new race director, which is really on it. I mean, on the dot 10 o'clock you're there, he's ready to go. The waves, the conditions have been really good, so we've been very fortunate this year as well again. I mean, last year I was just watching it at home. It's been insane. Compared to last year, same conditions almost. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, Mauritius delivers very good conditions compared to other spots. For you, it's the first time here, first time on the KSP. Where do you practice normally? Where do you get your waves?
Normally practice in Cape Town. I've got, I mean, like 50 k's of beach that I can explore and ride perfect waves again. All different conditions, different winds, so I spend most of my time in Cape Town training. I don't really need to go anywhere else because I get everything I need in one spot, you know.
Perfect conditions.
Yeah.
All right, Luke. Good luck for you for the small final, and yeah, hope to see you back again, and good luck for you also in the other events in Ireland and Maui. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
So we just heard that interview from the young up-and-comer from South Africa, Luke McGillivray, taking out some big names here at the 2012 KSP 1i Pro. Luke coming from South Africa, a goofy footer, facing the wave out here, which really suited him well. And he was able to get through a bunch of heats all the way into the 3rd and 4th place final. So he's still going to be battling for that spot on the podium, Ben.
Yeah, and again, deservedly this far into the rounds, into those final couple of heats. He'd been riding just fantastic the whole time, and I think his confidence level is going to skyrocket a bit after this event, being kind of a newcomer on tour and not having the most contest experience, but coming out and having a showing like he's had here is really, I think, going to validate his own mind, the capabilities that he's going to have continuing into this tour year.
Yeah, for sure, and you could just see him building momentum out here. You know, he showed up just a few days before the contest. The day he got here was actually a really big swell. He was a little bit nervous going out there and just sort of trying to feel out conditions out there. And you could just see his confidence level rise and rise throughout the event. He made it through a few heats and realized that he was well in the game here and able to possibly go all the way. So great to see Luke out there charging, and he's going to still be battling for that 3rd place. And speaking of 3rd place, we do have an interview queued up with 3rd place women's winner, Kirsty Jones from Wales. Kirsty came up through the early rounds and was charging out here, also riding on her forehand, and got some incredible waves. She was in that 3rd and 4th place final between her and Ines Correa, who was last year's KSP world champion. So that was a pretty huge heat.
Yeah, hotly contested battle, that's for sure. So let's cut to Kirsty right now, standing by for an interview.
The lovely Kirsty Jones standing next to me. Kirsty, you got 3rd in the event here in the Eye Kite Surf Pro 2012. You were riding really well as always. We are used to that from your performances over the past 8 years already. We've been competing forever. We've just talked about the riding level of the girls. How do you feel about the improvement in the riding level of the girls, and how do you feel about competing amongst them?
Yeah, it's just incredible how much more competition we have now at such a high level. And I was just talking to you before and saying how it's actually really nice because now it's so spread out, the level is so high, so anything can happen, so you don't actually feel like you're always up against the same person, fighting against the same person, which I felt like in the past. Now it's just like, oh, okay, shit, I've got them in my heat, and it feels like that kind of in most heats now, which is brilliant actually.
Yeah, I have to agree. I was here a few weeks before the event, and I saw the girls riding out there, and I was like, oh my gosh, everyone is just ripping, and everyone is riding strapless now. We've seen this big change from almost all the girls riding with straps to now riding strapless. What's your take on that?
I think it's great, especially as they're really pushing the level now. I think in the beginning, I was a bit like, okay, I think we should still continue riding with straps in some conditions so we can be more radical, but now the level has gone up so much that I'm really impressed with the girls riding strapless. It's good.
That's great to hear from you. Well, congratulations to your 3rd place. We're going to see you next in Ireland in our next KSP event. That's kind of going to be home conditions for you, very similar to what you get at home. Are you really looking forward to that event?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Ireland. I used to live there in Brandon Bay on the west coast, and I just absolutely love the place. And I like the extreme harsh conditions you get there. You know, you can get anything from big waves, wind from the left, wind from the right, but it's always super exciting, and it's a beautiful country, so everyone's gonna love it.
That's what I think too. I think it's gonna be really exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing you there in your home conditions. Congratulations again for the 3rd place here.
Thank you.
And we give it back to Ben and Sky.
And thanks to all the effort and work that the KSP have put into this amazing event. I know there's a lot of work involved in it, and we all really appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you, and thanks to you guys, and back to you too.
So we just heard from Kirsty Jones, again solidifying her spot on the podium here at the Eye Pro 2012, and again a very deserving 3rd place. That heat that she had versus Ines Correa was really close. coming down almost to the very last wave score, and super excited to be doing well here. She deserves it, was riding really well all contests, really solid, really powerful. She has a lot of experience not only in wave riding, kind of one of the original female chargers out in the waves, but also in contest situations too, and that just goes to show in her third place finish here at the event.
Yeah, and that heat, as you said, came right down to the wire. I think they were separated in the end by 0.01
one of those heats we were talking about earlier.
So one of those really tight, hotly contested heats we were talking about earlier. So congratulations to Kirsty, solidifying that spot on the podium. And we have another interview queued up with another one of our riders here that is still alive in this competition, Ben. He's going to be going for that men's 3rd and 4th place final up against the young South African Luke McGilloway. This rider is from Brazil. His name's Sebastian Ribeiro. He's been a competitive surfer for a number of years, and he's new, well, not quite new on the KSP, but new to the competition scene in general. We saw him in Peru last year. He actually won the KSP Best Up-and-Comer last year in Peru, and we've seen him charging so far this year, really bringing that surf style, crossing over to the kite. He's been riding out here on his backhand, and actually the only rider in the top 4 riding on his backhand out here, Ben.
Yeah, so it's great to see him out in the waves. You can definitely see the influence that a life of surfing has in his riding style. Very powerful, very fluid, knows how to read waves so perfectly, and is always in the right place at the right time. And a testament to his skill level, again, being his it's not necessarily the easiest conditions for a backhand rider here with a bit of offshore wind and trying to pull you out of the back, and a testament to his skill level so far in being in the Final 4 in this event. So let's go down and hear from Sebastian, and we'll be back with you right after that.
Thanks, you guys. Yes, Sebastian Ribeiro here with me on the beach, one of our losers finalists. Sebastian, you are the last backside rider here, still in the competition. You were doing incredibly well. You already impressed us last year in Peru with your backhand riding, and here you showed us once again what great style you have. How does it feel out there on your backhand, and what was your tactics to make it that far?
Yeah, I know it's hard to the backhand here because the wind's really offshore and it's hard to kill the kite. So I tried to end the heat under power. I think it's better to kill and just go the surf, just use the kite to maybe a little bit power to pass section just for this.
And it seemed to have worked really well for you. You're gonna come up against Luke McGilloway in the losers final. What are your feelings going into this heat?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy. And you said I'm the last backhand, and I just go and try to be the best.
So you've been surfing for a long time, and you've been surfing on your backhand, you said, forever, and so it really feels natural for you. I know there's been a lot of discussions going on about backside riding and frontside riding. Do you think that you're gonna try and transition into switch riding, or do you think you will always stay on your backhand?
No, I will stay on my backhand. I tried to catch some waves in switch stance, but it's pretty hard for me. I surfed like 15 years. So I couldn't.
And you make it look good, so I think you do right doing just what you're doing. Congratulations for making it this far, and good luck for the quarterfinal, or for the losers final, I'm sorry. We can't wait to see you and Luke out there.
See you.
Back to Sky and Ben.
Welcome back. We just heard from Sebastian Ribeiro, the young ripper. Again, just his style is so fun to watch as we look out over our contest zone here. Such a beautiful location. The sun kind of coming out of cloud, passing over us a little bit right now. But man, this inside the reef here in the little lagoon area is just, the colors are fantastic. Just bright turquoise and such a beautiful location. It's like a natural amphitheater to sit here on the beach, and we've been lucky enough to have that scaffold built out there by AFIX and man, it just provides such a brilliant overview of the judging location and the whole contest area. But man, what a great place to come and hang out. If any of you are thinking about coming on a trip to Mauritius, please do. This place is amazing, you know, not only for water sports, but you know, for everything ocean-minded, and you know, just the people and this spot in general. Historical landmarks around this place is just an amazing place to visit.
Yeah, so we're really stoked to just enjoy a lay day here in Mauritius today. A competition has been called off, and all the riders sort of going and just kind of enjoying the island, taking a nice day to relax and enjoy the beauty that Mauritius has to offer. So we'll reconvene here back tomorrow, 10 a.m. for the morning show. We are hoping to see some more waves out there on the reef tomorrow, but we won't really know until we show up tomorrow morning and just sort of see what the day has to offer. Our contest directors will assess conditions tomorrow morning first thing, and hopefully get this thing underway as soon as possible with the remaining 3 heats in this competition.
Yeah, can't wait for it. Everyone's stoked. I'm amped. You're amped.
I'm definitely amped.
Riders are amped. And man, yeah, have some great matchups coming up. And as soon as conditions allow, we're going to go run straight into those heats. Still kind of wondering if those heats are going to be extended a little bit for that the final ones. I'm not sure if we had official word on that or not. But
yeah, I haven't heard official word on that yet. But I would imagine going into the finals, of course, depending on conditions,
exactly,
those heats might get extended, allow those riders a little bit more time out there to really lock in their 2 highest scoring rides. But again, we'll wait to hear official word from our head judge and contest director about that. So far in this competition, we've been running 15-minute heats. They may extend it to 20, 25, 30. We'll just have to wait to see. But with only 3 heats remaining in this competition and still 5 days in the waiting period, still plenty of time to finish this thing up in the best possible conditions.
Exactly. And as always, we'll be here every morning, 10 a.m., giving you the updates, bringing you some little-known facts, quizzing my partner here like Jeopardy style, and his wisdom. And we'll be your talking idiots on the couch or on the beach or various locations wherever we can drag a camera, a couple microphones. You'll be listening to us. So until tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., again, it's official lay day. Everyone who's awake right now, go back to sleep if it's in the middle of the night. We're going to get out there and enjoy some of the day, and perhaps get out there for a kite or a little surf or travel around the island and see what's up. Until then, I'm Ben Meyer.
And I'm Sky Solbach, and we will see you back here at 10 a.m. tomorrow, local Mauritius time, for day 6 of the 2012 KSP 1 Eye Pro.